increase, potentially rising from 5 tala to 100 tala, an increase of almost 2,000%, yet received final approval. Additionally, the departure tax is set to increase from 65 tala to 100 tala. If approved, both the departure tax and the aviation security fees will be passed on to travelers. Concerns have intensified, with many arguing that the steep increase in parking fees is unaffordable for Samoan travelers, especially those with lower incomes. Despite this, Manuel reiterated that the authority has the legal right to impose and implement fees. Nunu Yasulile with your KVZK News. And finally, in our news for tonight from the region, according to Radio New Zealand reports, Cook Islands Prime Minister Mark Brown has survived a motion in Parliament to ouster his government. He is the second Pacific island leader to face a no-confidence vote this week. In a vote on Wednesday afternoon, the man at the center of recent controversy defeated the motion by 13 votes to 9. Two government ministers were absent for the vote. The motion was proposed by opposition MP Teriki Heather, the leader of the Cook Islands United Party. Ahead of the vote, Heather acknowledged that Brown had majority support in Parliament. However, he stated that he was bringing forward the motion on principle, citing recent decisions made by Brown, including a proposal to create a Cook Islands passport and the rejection of New Zealand from deals with China, which have divided the Cook Islands community. These are the merits that I am presenting before this House. We have the support of our people and those living outside the country, and so it is my challenge. Where do you stand in this House? Heather asked. Brown responded by highlighting that the Cook Islands has seen significant success in its development in recent years, achieving first world status in 2020. We need to stand on our own 2 feet and engage with our partners on an equal footing, he said. Economic and financial independence must come first before political independence, and that was what I discussed and made clear when I met with the New Zealand Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister in Wellington, November. Brown emphasized that the challenges facing Cook Islanders today are not just about passports and agreements, but about asserting self-determination. This is not about consultation. This is about control. We cannot compete with New Zealand when their one-sided messaging is so compelling that even our opposition members are swayed. We never once talked to the New Zealand government about cutting our ties with them, yet the message our people received was that we were doing just that. He continued, we have been discussing a comprehensive partnership with New Zealand for months. However, the message that got out is that we have not consulted. We are a partner in our relationship with New Zealand. We are not a child. Brown also remarked that the motion of no confidence was based on misinformation, pointing out that the proposer of the motion had publicly stated that he was moving it in support of New Zealand. The influence of New Zealand in this motion of no confidence should be concerning to all Cook Islanders who value our country. My job is not to fly the New Zealand flag. My job is to fly my own country's flag. Last week, hundreds of Cook Islanders rallied in Avarua opposing Brown's political decisions and demanding that he step down for damaging the relationship between Aotearoa and the Cook Islands. The Cook Islands is a self-governing state in free association with New Zealand and is part of the realm of New Zealand, sharing the same head of state. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the island's self-governance. According to the 2021 census, the population of the Cook Islands is less than 15,000, while New Zealand remains home to over 80,000 Cook Islands Maori, with about 28,000 residing in Australia. Nunu Yasulele with your KVZK News. Coming up next is your weather and tide report.